Today I want to share with you the 3 pivotal things that really changed everything for me. It made me go from someone that used to overbook herself, constantly overthinking my conversations at parties, hesitating for every decision I make and needing permission to do things, into someone that is complimented constantly for her confidence and her certainty and her ability to hold boundaries. And this didn't happen by accident. What I've come to understand is there are different types of confidence, and even though I grew up as a generally confident woman, I was doing theater, I always felt confident on stage, I was really good with stage presence and energy. Yet, when it came to friendship, when it came to my social life, when it came to following my dreams boldly, I had so much space to grow. And that's why I want to reassure you, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, I'm already a confident woman, I don't know if this is for me. I work with incredibly successful women and there's still space for growth. I consider myself today really successful because I live my dream life every day and I do what I love and I love myself deeply. And I have still so far to go when it comes to confidence. It is a lifelong journey of embodiment, of deepening into who we are, of truly finding our voice. And the 3 pivotal keys I want to share with you today are just the beginning of a long series of developing yourself into your most confident self. Because the confident woman, she knows where she's going, she knows who she is, and she knows what she wants. And becoming that confident woman is truly about first committing to living an extraordinary life. That is what changed everything for me. I made the commitment, plan A all the way. I am committing to being a woman that lives an extraordinary life, that has stories to tell, that travels, that follows her dreams. You know, I went to this yoga festival and I saw all these women that were so powerful. They had stories, they were hiking alone, they were doing their thing, and their energy was so seductive in a way, right? There was a pull. I wanted to be in their presence just because there was this mystery to it. How do they hold themselves with such confidence? And I listened back to some of my videos even a couple years back, and my voice is different. It is a little bit higher pitched. I can feel in my energy that I hadn't fully arrived yet in my presence, in who I am. And that shift is the first key I want to share with you today. The commitment to the type of life you truly want to lead. What is the type of life you want to lead? And I don't mean here what's your purpose or what's your career. I mean here, what type of intensity, of style, of energy, of life do you want to lead? For me, the keywords were extraordinary, full of stories, and really a sense of power and magnetism in my field. I wanted to become the kind of woman that carries a magnetic energy. And that decision, I grounded it. I wrote it down in my journal. I made a commitment to myself. And it ended with, no matter what, plan A all the way. And I look back at some of those stories from when I used to have a blog and, wishing I would be my own boss back then, or wishing I would find a way to travel and be free and, use my computer and my devices to be remote when it was still such a new thing a couple years back and there was not as much information as there is today. I didn't know how, but I knew what I wanted. That started what I like to call my North Star vision, which is this guiding star in the corner of my eye that leads me to make better decisions. And that brings me to my point 2, which is to become a really confident and powerful woman, I learned how to make decisions. And now I'm a Libra. I'm a manifesting generator. I used to ask my friends to make my ice cream decision for me because it got overwhelming. And I have come to realize that moving boldly in our lives, moving with power, with confidence, with magnetism, is about certainty, is about the energy of decisiveness, the energy of I know where I'm going and I know how I move. I make the choices. I make the moves. I decide. And especially as creatives, I feel like there's such sometimes indecision. Who am I truly? What am I to do? What is the best option? And what freed me is I realized there is no best option. There is only one set of decision after another, and if I give myself permission to be allowed to decide again, I'm allowed to then be more playful with my decisions, yet move with that grounded certainty. So if you know in your life right now there are decisions to be made, I invite you to sit down, ground yourself with your intuition, and give yourself your power back. What do I decide is the most powerful question that really started shifting everything for me. And the last thing is giving yourself permission to be the one that nobody quite understands. And what I mean by this, to be the odd one out, is becoming someone that can hold a vision and move without approval, without permission from others, without people understanding you, without people validating where you're going. Because I like to believe that a confident woman sees her vision before anybody sees it or can understand it or comprehend it, right? You're moving in this invisible realm of the in-between. You're not there yet, but you see it, and you're becoming, and you're moving. And if you can do that and let people not understand you, allow yourself to have those conversations with people that are questioning you or, wanting your well-being, and they're worried about your choices, like moving abroad or breaking up with your long-term relationship that everybody thought you were going to get married, or whatever that is for you, right? Starting your business, quitting your business and starting another one. Allowing yourself to say, thank you so much for your input, but I'm good. I'm not available for feedback right now, but I appreciate your concern so much. Thank you, but no. No, I'm not taking this in, because you know where you're going, and you know that only people that are either where you want to go or actively on their way truly can say something that might contribute positively. But even so, at the end of the day, you trust you first. And that deep inner trust is what allowed me to truly go bold and get to a life that I now literally pinch myself every day that I get to be living. Not only am I in a relationship that is the most nourishing and dreamy I ever thought possible for over 9 years, but then I'll get to wake up to this, and this is my real life. Me being a singer, being a coach for creative entrepreneur, being a woman that creates courses and resources and meditation with her partner that gets to walk down a mountain in the morning to go get coffee by the beach. This is my real life. And I created it one little move at a time, one little decision at a time, because I chose to only allow my intuition in when it came to moving forward. I didn't wait for people to get it. I didn't wait for people to validate it or understand me. I trusted myself. And now people get to say, wait a minute, you did it. But that's then a beautiful space to then share, right? But don't let people's fear get in the way. Trust yourself. Trust your inner knowing. Even when it doesn't logically make sense on paper yet, you know where you're going. You have that truth within that voice, and the more you can give it space, the more you'll notice your life shifts in dramatic ways. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with me today here. I hope you apply those tips in your life. And if you want to become your most confident self, stay a while. I am here for the artists, the creatives, the dreamers. And I'm so excited to keep sharing my knowledge and nuggets of wisdom that I've gathered in the last decade of working on myself and my confidence. I also just opened the door to my signature course, You Are Powerful, which is an 8-week journey with soulful guided audios, transmission, and meditations to truly root yourself in that trust of your voice and walk your own path. So if this calls you, I'm dropping the link below. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful one.